Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to create and send donation link on Jotform using Razorpay. So I am an owner of an NGO and I collect my donors' data with the help of form submission. And I have created the form with the help of Jotform. So here my objective is that as soon as any of my donors are going to do a new form submission with the help of Jotform, automatically with the help of Razorpay, I want to create a payment link for my donor. And as soon as the payment link is going to be created for my donor with the help of Razorpay, automatically I want to send them an email on their Gmail account with the attachment of that payment link. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to simply create an automation between all of these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn how to do this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create and send donation links from Jotform submissions using Razorpay. So I am an owner of an NGO and I collect my donors' details with the help of form submission, and I have created the form with the help of Jotform. So here my objective is that as soon as a form submission is going to be done by any of my donors with the help of Jotform, automatically with the help of the details of my donor, I want to create a payment link with the help of Razorpay. And as soon as the Razorpay payment link is going to be created, automatically to my donor, I want to send an email on their Gmail account with the attachment of that payment link. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to simply create an automation between Jotform, Razorpay and Gmail with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. Then a new dialog box is going to appear, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Create and Send Donation Link on Jotform Submission using Razorpay. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Okay. Next over here, it is asking for us to select a folder. On the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down arrow, and as soon as you're going to do that, these are the folders from which I'm going to select Razorpay Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create and Send Donation Link on Jotform Submissions using Razorpay, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, what we are going to do is we're going to set up our trigger step. For that, click on this arrow right over here, and for the trigger application over here, we are going to select it as Jotform. So I'm going to select my trigger application as Jotform. And for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new response. As our objective is that as soon as one of our donors are going to do a new form submission with the help of Jotform, automatically, instantly, Pabbly Connect should capture the response, okay? And for connecting Jotform with Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to connect Jotform with Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. Firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, open the form that you have created with the help of Jotform. So as you can see, this is the form that I've created with the help of Jotform in the name of Donation for Charity, and this is the form that I've created right over here. And we're going to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. For that, click on Settings right over here. As soon as we click on Settings, this page is going to appear, on which on the left side of our screen you can see there are multiple options, from which we have to click on Integrations. As soon as you're going to do that, the Integrations window is going to appear, on which on the search bar we have to search for webhooks. We're going to search for webhooks. This is webhooks right over here. We're going to select it. As soon as you're going to do that, webhooks page is going to appear. Over here, it's asking for us to add a webhook. I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us, okay? After that, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Complete Integration. As you can see that over here it says you have successfully created our integration. That means we have successfully added the webhook. So if I'm going to go back, you can see there is a tick mark in front of webhook right over here. Okay, so this means that we successfully added a webhook over here. So if I'm going to take you back to my workflow, over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we're going to do is we're going to check whether Jotform and Pabbly Connect is connected successfully or not. For that, what we are going to do is we're going to do a test submission of the form that we have created with the help of Jotform, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of that test form submission or not. For that, this is the form that I've created, and we're going to do a test submission of this form. For that, click on publish right over here. As soon as we're going to do that, over here it says open in new tab. We're going to click on it. You can see this is the form that I've created with the help of Jotform, that is donation for charity humanity across borders. So this is the name of my NGO right over here. Okay, it is asking for the name, email, phone number, date, currency and the amount right over here. So we're going to fill in all the details. Firstly, for the name over here, I'm going to write it as Smart. Okay, after that it is asking for the last name over here. I'm going to write it as Demo. Okay, for the email over here, I'm going to write it as smartdemo@pabblytunes.com. Next, it is asking for the phone number. So we're going to write in a dummy mobile number. Over here, it is asking for the date. For the date over here, I'm going to select the date of today's date right over here. Okay. Next, it is asking for the currency in which you're going to do a payment. For the currency over here, there are options from which I'm going to select INR, that is Indian rupees right over here. Okay. Over here, it is asking for the amount of donation that we are going to do. So I'm going to write the amount as 78,000. So this is the amount right over here. Okay, so after filling all the details over here, I'm going to click on submit to do a test submission. As you can see that over here says submission has been received. So now I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect workflow that I've created, and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the form submission that we have done right now or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow, scroll down, and yeah, as you can see that over here a new form submission is done over here. If you're going to tally the response, for the first name over here it says Smart, last name as Demo, email as smartdemo@pabblytunes.com, for the phone number dummy mobile number, for the amount as 78,000, for the currency as INR, that is Indian rupees, and all the other details. So this means that we fully set up a connection between Jotform and Pabbly Connect, and a trigger setup is done. As we want that whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of our donors with the help of Jotform, automatically with the help of the response details, we have to create a payment link with the help of Razorpay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application right over here, we are going to select it as Razorpay. So I'm going to select my action application as Razorpay, and for the action event, I'm going to select it as Create Payment Link, and then we're going to click on Connect. A new window is then going to appear, on which click on Add New Connection. As soon as you're going to do that, over here it is asking for the key ID and the key secret right over here in order to connect Razorpay to Pabbly Connect. From where we're going to have the details of these. For that, we have to follow the steps given here below in the help desk. We have to open our Razorpay account. As you can see, this is my Razorpay account right over here. And for having the details of the key ID and the key secret, we have to click on settings right over here. As soon as we do that, over here it says website and app settings. Over here it says API keys. We're going to click on it. As soon as you're going to click over here you can see a key is provided. We're going to click on regenerate test key right over here. Over here we're going to select as deactivate old key in 24 hours, and then we're going to click on confirm and deactivate. So over here you can see a new key is there. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the key ID from here, paste it in Pabbly Connect right over here. Next, it is asking for the key secret. We are going to copy the key secret from here, paste in Pabbly Connect right over here. Then click on save right over here. As you can see that we successfully connected Razorpay to Pabbly Connect. After that, over here it is asking for the amount for which we have to create the payment link for. So what we are going to do is, in place of this amount, we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we are going to insert the data from the previous step of this automation process. And how we're going to do that? As soon as we have to click on this field, over here it says Jotform new response. That was the previous step of this automation workflow. If you're going to click on this arrow, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. As over here it is asking for the amount, so I'm going to map the data for the amount right over here. This is the amount data. I'm going to map it right over here. As I map the data right over here, what happens is the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically in place of this mapped data, the new data is going to update it. Over here in the help desk, it says amount must be the smallest unit of currency. For example, if it is 10 rupees, you have to add 2 extra zeros in the end of the amount. So as it is 78,000 right over here, we are going to add 2 decimals. That is, we are going to add 2 extra zeros in end of this amount. So I'm going to manually type 2 2 zeros in the end of the amount. So you also have to write 2 extra zeros in the end of the amount, okay? Next over here it is asking for the currency. We're going to map the data of the currency that we have received in our previous step. So this is the currency. I'm going to map the data, okay? Next it is asking for the type. We're going to select the type as link because we want to create a payment link, okay? Next over here it is asking for the description. Over here for the description we have received an example right over here. So I'm going to copy this from here. I'm going to paste this right over here, and for the description over here I'm going to write as payment link for donation for charity. So this is the payment link that we have created, that is for the donation of the charity, okay? Next over here it is asking for the name. For the name over here we're going to map the data of our donor's name. So I'm going to map the data over here, that is the first name space the last name right over here, okay? Next it is asking for the email. We're going to map the data of the email over here. I'm going to map the data. Over here it is asking for the contact of our donor. So I'm going to map the data of the phone number of our donor, that is right over here, okay? Next it is asking for the receipt right over. For the receipt number we have to give a receipt number. So in my previous step we have received a response in which we have received a unique submission ID right over here. So for the receipt over here I'm going to map the data of that submission ID. For the receipt over here, first I want to write it as donor underscore, and then I'm going to map the submission ID right over here. If you want a unique receipt number according to your requirement, you can add whatever you want, okay? Next it is asking for the reminder. I'm going to select it as true right over here, okay? Over here next it is asking for the expiry. The expiry of what? The expiry of the payment link that we are creating. For that over here we have to write the expiry in a timestamp format, as you can see right over here. I want that whenever a new payment link is going to be created, automatically after 2 days the payment link should be expired, okay? The payment link is not going to work after 2 days. So over here as it is asking in a timestamp format and the payment link should be in 2 days, so what we are going to do is we are going to add another action step by clicking on this plus button in this workflow right over here. And for the action application over here we're going to select it as date/time formatter by Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing feature by Pabbly Connect that helps us to modify the date and time according to our requirement, okay? For the action event over here we're going to select it as modify current date right over here. After that over here we're going to click on connect. As soon as we're going to do that, over here it is asking for the date that we have to have the response in, and in this over here you can see there are multiple options from which we are going to select it as timestamp, because over here in the help desk in a Razorpay step over here it says we have to put the date in a timestamp format right over here, okay? So we have selected our date over here as timestamp, okay? For the time zone over here we are going to select it as UTC. We are selecting as ETC/UTC because this is a universal time format right over here. Whenever the time is going to be created, it is going to be universal. It is not going to be according to a specific time zone, okay? Over here for the operation we are going to select it as add because we want to add 2 days to this date right over here. And for the unit I'm going to select it as days right over, and for the value over here as 2, so that 2 days are going to be added to the current date of the form submission, okay? And then we're going to click on save and send test request. As soon as you get to do that, a result is going to be received, and the result we have received a timestamp date after 2 days of the current date, okay? So now what we are going to do is in our Razorpay step right over here, in place of this expiry, we are going to map the data. This is expiry. We're going to map the data of the result that we have received in our previous step. So that whenever a new link is going to be created, a new payment link is going to be created with the help of Razorpay, it is going to expire after the 2 days of it's been created, okay? Next it is asking for the SMS notify. Where the options are Razorpay sends the SMS, you send the SMS. I'm going to select it as you send the SMS. We are going to send the SMS. For the email notification also we are going to select it as you send the email. Next over here it is asking for the partial payment. We're going to select as customer cannot make the partial payments because customer can only make the whole payment. They can't do the partial payments over here, okay? It is asking for the callback URL. Over here you can enter the callback URL of your website, your NGO website, or any website that you want over here. So I'm going to skip the part as I don't require this field right over here, and then I'm going to click on save and send test request. As soon as you click on save and send test request over here, you are going to receive a response right over here. In the response, you're going to have the details of the donor right over here. In the response, you're also going to have the short URL that is right over here. This is the payment URL. I'm going to copy this URL from here and I'm going to open this as a new tab right over here. As you can see, this is the payment link for the amount of 78,000. As you can see right over here, the expiry of the 2 days after, that is 29th of 2024. Today is 27th May 2024 and the expiry is May 29, 2024 for the time as 1:23 p.m. okay? The donor receipt number, that is the unique number right over here, and over here you have to fill the details in order to do the payment via Razorpay. So this means that we successfully created a link with the help of Razorpay for our donor. And as we have created the link, we want to send an email to our donor on the Gmail account. So what we are going to do is we're going to add another action step in this workflow right over here. And for the action application over here, we are going to select it as Gmail. So I'm going to select my action application as Gmail, and for the action event as send email. And then we're going to click on connect in order to connect Gmail to Pabbly Connect. A new window is going to appear on which click on add new connection. But if you want, you can select the existing connection. And after that, click on connect with Gmail. As soon as you go to click on connect with Gmail, a new window is going to appear on which it is asking for a permission. I'm going to click on allow, as a safe process in my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on allow. As you can see that we successfully authorized Gmail to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, over here it is asking for the recipient email address. On which email address do we want to send an email to? For the recipient email address, we're going to map the data of the email address that we have received in our previous steps. So I'm going to map the data of the email of my donor right over here, so that whenever a new donor is going to do the form submission automatically to them over here, an email is going to be forwarded on this address that has been mapped right over here. Okay, next it is asking for the CC and the BCC. I'm going to skip the part as I don't require the field. Next it is asking for the sender's name. For the sender's name over here, I'm going to write it as sender's name as Team Humanity Across Borders. Okay, next it is asking for the email subject, the subject of my email that we're going to send to the donor. For the subject of my email, I want to write it as thank you for your support, complete a donation to humanity across borders. So this is the subject of my email right over here. It is asking for the reply to. I'm going to skip the part as I don't require it. For the email content type, I'm going to select it as plain. Next it is asking for the email content right over here, the main body of the email that we're going to send to our donor. For the email content over here, I'm going to write it as, so this is the email content that I want to send to my donor. It says dear. Next to dear, I want the name of my donor, so I'm going to map the data of the name of my donor right over here. First name space the last name. Okay, dear, the name of my donor. We hope this message find you well. Thank you for your generous decision to support humanity across borders. Your commitment to our cause will significantly impact the lives of those in need. We are incredibly grateful for your kindness. To complete a donation, please check the link below. Over here for the link, we are going to map the data of the link that we have received in our Razorpay step right over here. So this is the link right away. I'm going to map this link right over here where it says your contribution will go a long way in helping us to continue our mission to provide assistance and supports to communities across globe. If you have any questions or need further assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us at humanityacrossborders@example.com. We are here to help. Thank you once again for your generosity and support. Together we make a difference. Warm regards, Humanity Across Borders. So this is the email that I want to send to my donor. Okay, next over here it is asking for the file name and the attachment. We do not require the field, so we are going to skip the part, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. After click on save and send test request, over here response is going to be received, and for the result status over here it says send. So this means that a new email should be forwarded on our Gmail account with the attachment of our Razorpay payment link. So I'm going to open my Gmail account, and yes, as you can see right over here, new email is forwarded on my Gmail account with the subject as thank you for your support, complete your donation to humanity across borders. It says dear smart user with the content of the email right over here and the attachment of a payment link. I'm going to open this link from here, and this is the payment link over here for the donation that has to be completed by our donor. So this means that we successfully created an automation between all of these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of an NGO and I collect my donors details for the donation with the help of Jotform. So my objective is that whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of my donors with the help of Jotform, automatically with the help of the response details, a payment link should be created for that donor with the help of Razorpay. And as soon as the payment link is going to be created with the help of Razorpay, I want to send an email to my donor with the attachment of that payment link. For that, what we have done is we have simply created an automation between Jotform, Razorpay and Gmail with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how we create this amazing automation. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.